What's in a name? Well, when it comes to California water politics, a lot. Decades ago, voters saw this on their ballot: an up or down vote to build a peripheral canal. It was defeated soundly.
The balance of nature does not always work in the best interests of people. Our dual responsibilities to the people and to the environment require extending nature to bring about a balance nature did not provide. The Peripheral Canal is that extension.
Now it's back, but the name of the thing keeps changing. We'll keep calling it the Peripheral Canal. And by the way, the forces who want it built are working very hard to ensure that this time voters will not have a say. It's no secret what they want. They want the water. And the process to make it happen is called the BDCP, the Bay Delta Conservation Plan. It's a process so broken that it appears to be sinking from its own weight.
BDCP has relied on very vague goals like improve the ecosystem and provide for a reliable water supply without defining at all what either of those two things mean.
Major media is taking notice. This editorial in the San Francisco Chronicle is typical of the response.
We've worked hard over the last few years. We've invested a huge amount of time and money. We're trying to work in an environment where we have a very vigorous scientific debate going on.
The science has been growing for decades. We do have good understanding of what are the important problems, what are the things that are causing those problems.
The Peripheral Canal will take about 10 years to complete, and when water begins flowing through it, the canal will be a monument to sharing, fair play, and mankind's awakening to the needs of our environment.
If in the end we can't get an increased, adequately reliable and plentiful water supply out of an investment, however many billions of dollars, the investment won't be made.
The Bay Delta Conservation Plan set out to meet the co-equal goals of fixing the habitat for declining fish species, most importantly salmon, and to provide a reliable water supply for farms and cities in Central and Southern California.
The only way we will meet the co-equal goals is to recognize the limits on our water supply that's available, and that base supply will not be as high as we've done in the past.
You know, none of our farmers are anxious that they want a canal or a tunnel just because that's an accomplishment. They want the result.
What we're talking about here is a huge canal. It's 5 pumping stations that will be 4 to 6 stories high on a 20-acre plot of land, each one of them, that will pump 3,000 cubic feet a second of water out of the Sacramento River, each station, for a total of 15,000 cubic feet a second. Will pump that water into 2 33-foot-high tubes that will carry water 40 miles south, 150 feet underground, around the delta.
The Peripheral Canal will be an attractive, cost-effective, safe ribbon of water that will add millions of dollars to the economy of the North.
We have an ecosystem that is at risk. It's beyond at risk at this point. So we're trying to address all of those things in this process, and it's just not, in my opinion, going very well.
You know, the devil's in the details of who controls and operates this thing. That includes who's got their hand on the switch and who decides when to turn it.
The Peripheral Canal is the choice of conservationists, civic leaders, and the people responsible for meeting the water needs of millions of Californians.
The same people who are promising that are the same people who over the last half a century have created the mess in the first place and sent delta fish populations crashing. The very people that made the mess are now telling us, trust us, we can fix this, we can engineer this, better than nature does it.
The Peripheral Canal is still alive, but it's not too late to stop it. There are cheaper and less destructive ways to improve California's water future. In coming programs, we'll talk about them. These are the people who need to hear from you. They need to know that the water they want to push through a peripheral canal has always been and will always be salmon water.